excuse me, and we brought Dr. Wilcox in because he has job openings.
And thank you. And I was speaking last week, and I'm usually in here every month or so.
Twice.
And so that you brought this on. I didn't bring it up, and I took you up on it because it's interesting because there are employers out there. I'm just an employer. And we're looking for people, and you presented me with the opportunity to talk about it, and I'm going to talk like I think, which is kind of scary.
That's fine.
And so what's going on? And well, the culture out there today is unlike anything I've ever known. I've been 32 years in the business. My dad before me. And we crossed over there. But I look back at the numbers. We've had 63 employees over time, sometimes as many as...
Over how many years?
Over, for my tenure, 32 years.
Okay.
And some lasting 18, 19 years, some lasting one day or didn't show up the day they were supposed to come in,
Heard of that.
Crazy stuff.
I was just telling him at June's work, they hired a lady. She accepted the job, did not show up the first day. They come about a month later. They had another opening. She applied.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And the woke society. But it's interesting times. There are frustrating times. People are tired of the mask. They're frustrated about the uncertainty, the arguments on the news all day long. Everyone seems to be polarized about so many things. And you know what? I'm a doctor. I provide care. I need talented help. As you know, in my practice, we do a lot of cerebral things. You got to think. I'm seeking thinkers. I would love to have experience. Over the years, we've taken plenty of people who had no medical eye experience and have turned them into rock stars. Currently, I have an 18 and a 21-year-old college students, and they're phenomenal. We're losing both of them shortly because they're going to, well, they might be going to college at UVA. And but yeah, and the frustrating thing with having them is young, bright, dedicated minds learn things the first time you present it to them, and you go, "Wow!" You
get spoiled real quick.
You can teach somebody how to tie a shoe, and they tie it, and they do it right every time, and then they can also go, hey, I can do this other task because I learned that task. You got to MacGyver things. You got to sit here and say, hey, I saw this, I know this. Wow, I need to do that. So I have a practice which is a small business. We have
exactly,
and so
but you know what? So many of the government things when they talk about small businesses, talk about businesses with 200 employees being a small business.
No.
I'm going, no way.
No. So I like to say we don't make donuts. We make eclairs with sprinkles. So the job that somebody may like, where they put a screw in a hole and turn it twice, and they do that all day, is not the job that we have at my practice. The good news is you have a variety of things. We have a variety of patients.
Do you require a degree?
No. I've taken. I require heart. I require a mind. I require somebody who is passionate and compassionate. How
do you get that out of a job interview nowadays?
One, we all have our instincts. We have our conversations. I will figure it out. What I do in my job interviews is, somebody presents me with a page or three of who they say they are, and then you get to go you can go sort it out. I will sit here and I will spew up a number of my philosophies, and it's random. I'll talk about what I believe, who I am, culturally, what I think about, or professionally, maybe better stated. And so I want you to get into my bus, because I'm getting into a little bit of yours, but it's my ship, and I'm the captain of the ship.
That's right.
And it's the culture. And so, at times there's people who will say something, and then you'll figure it out that they're not that person. You're supposed to show up to work on time. You're supposed to. You don't. Your cell phone. Like the cell phone thing. We're not. You can't be a cell phone addict. Period. You can have it on your person right now, but if you're somebody who's got to go look at a thing, it's not going to work. And I won't allow it to work, and that's an understanding. But show some love in your voice when you answer the phone. Don't be gruff. Everyone can have a bad day, and it's never a perfect day. I've never had a perfect day in the office. We're trying to get one day, but we're trying to
Trust me, I've never had a perfect morning on the air. Yeah.
If you accept my faults, I'll accept yours. But I'm the one to go down with the ship. Okay, I'll take out the trash. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll answer the phone on the third ring. Right now, we're down for vacations and whatnot. A person or two, and I'll answer the phone. Hey, Dr. Wilcox, how can I help you? What do you answer the phone for? Well, I remember 30-some years ago when there was my dad, one employee, and myself.
Yeah.
And you learned how to do those things, and I haven't forgotten. So we're going to have a bulk job interview this afternoon.
Now,
and
on the paper you gave me, it said seeking help technicians, optician.
Well, yeah. So we I'm an eye doctor, and part of our practice we sell glasses or prescribe lenses, and people get these 2 circles and 2 sticks called a pair of glasses, and you have a styling side of it, a functionality side of it, what's proper, what does your insurance cover, and whatnot, and so we have that side. So that's the optical side,
okay.
And you don't have to be an optician necessarily, but just have experience there, because there's a lot to learn, and we can teach you, but it's no fun teaching somebody from the ground up, because it takes time,
right?
And then if you find out that once they they know a thing or 5, you want them to stick around. So yeah, we're looking for that. Then we do a lot of technical stuff. I have cutting edge technology.
I know. I've seen it.
And you've got to learn. Like right now, this last night and this morning, and I'm hurriedly working on a paper that's going to go out for publication. And over a case of a phenomenal case outcomes using alternative sources, light and magnetic fields, and fixing this gal's eye. And what it required, now that we're looking at the 22 months of scans, you want every one of them to have been perfect, because you never know when that case, in my practice, is something you're going to publish. So that means don't take a crappy picture. If it's act like it's your daughter's wedding day, and this is what they're going to use to say, hey, here's my daughter getting married. Now, you can't always do that with certain eyes and whatnot, but be engaged. Look at your result. Just don't click a button and say next. Look at it. Go, do I like this? And if you're not that kind of person who's detail oriented, it's not going to work out, because I need those outcomes. 1, to take care of that patient that day. And 2, to take care of that patient the next day, where you have to revert back to old images and say, hey, are you worse? Is your retina less good? And I need to know that the scan, the image, the field is accurate and clear versus sloppy. And there's a lot of sloppy stuff that you can get done. So do you have to have experience in my business to do that? No. Would we rather? Yes. But, we can teach you a lot of this stuff pretty quickly. And quickly, I can say is really not true, because it takes months and months and months. And
you learn, right, and then you continue learning.
And it's just a conversation with people. Hey, Neil, what are you doing here today? How can we help you? When you were driving here for your eye exam, what did you want? And people will tell you, they'll say one thing, and then really in their back pocket, they've got something else.
So Ralph's philosophy is one of his first questions in a job interview is, what do it pay? You don't want that as a first question.
It's a big, huge no for me.
There you go, Ralph. Don't go to Dr. Wilcox.
It's a huge no for me.
Oh,
because
I
if
agree.
if you're looking for me for pay, you're looking for the next person for pay. I am not hiring PhD researchers. Okay, that's not my business. And that doesn't mean that we don't pay well. And I use commissions. And a lot in the practice where
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
because see, I'm a hustler. I'm one of 12 kids. I've always worked hard all my life. I had 12 yards when I was 12 years old. I remember I got my first $100 bill by cobbling together ones and ones. You didn't even have fives back then, and because you got paid $3 for cutting somebody's grass, it took 2.5 hours. And I remember getting my $100 bill and having it, and I saved it in a special place in my room. And then I eventually, bought my first
I was going to
fishing
say,
pole.
do you still have it?
No. But
let me ask you.
we go back to the money thing. Yes, we pay and we have commissions, and I like the commissions. So if you do things, there's a reward. It's never selling; it's doing the right thing. We don't sell ice cubes to Eskimos, and but when you perform this medical test, there's a little something in there based upon practice success. So if we did,
But hold on. I got to ask you.
yes.
We are in a situation now, and it runs out Saturday, and what they're going to do, I don't know. But unemployment has been getting their unemployment pay plus $600, which means I keep begging, making mistakes every morning. I keep upsetting people because I wanted somebody to complain so Tom would fire me or recommend that I go get unemployment, because then I'd be making 5 times more than I make now. You're competing with the government for jobs.
We talked about that before this interview, and it's true. Before this COVID stuff, I used to compete with other eye doctors, other doctors, anybody want to go work anywhere else. And now I'm competing against my government because, yes, if somebody's, has their unemployment benefits plus their $600 a week, and they're making more money than they ever have, you can't fault them. I mean, it's you go, wow. And so and it's bad. And so lots and lots of employers are trying to find certain populations of employees. And yeah, I've had some people who said in June, yeah, I'd like to work with you in September, because they got the math all figured out as to when they're available. It's like, wow. But the other sad thing and the horrible thing is like this school system stuff. You have these people who are in just stuck, not knowing if, a husband, wife, 2 kids, then they're in school. Who's going to teach the kids at home? Who's going to stay home and teach the kids, and how that goes? Oh, it's horrible. God bless these people who are trying to make these decisions, and they keep moving the goalpost every day.
And the ones that don't have good internet.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. So we're raising a country of right now. If you ain't teaching them, they getting smarter, and it's
Boy, that laid it on the line.
and it's a huge problem. I mean, and then we got these masks on, and you can't get oxygen in your brain, and so now we have less oxygen in our brain and less time trying to think and put that little mixture together, and wow, we're gonna have trouble. That blends into decisions and people who are have a opportunity to apply for a job anywhere, me or somebody else.
So what are you looking for?
We'd
know
love
you're looking
to
for
have a
some free
turnkey.
thinkers.
Love to have a turnkey. Individual in any way, But the other thing is you find out when somebody thinks they're a rock star and they come to your place and they have their ideas of this is how you do things, and you gotta suck out that part of the brain and put your part of your brain in and say, nah, this is how we do it. And we're looking for a few good men or women, and people or persons who are you would want working on your mother's eyes should she be going blind, and they would do great work and be loving and compassionate and attention to detail oriented, a little bit of organization, OCD, to make up the fact that I don't have organization in my life.
Okay. All right.
But we have fun. We have lots of hugs and kisses that go on in the practice every day, all the time. Lots of when you walked into Cheers, everyone knows your name.
Yeah,
we got that going on, and it's a lot of fun there. But we're working.
I got a birthday greeting from you guys.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
That's our. Yeah, and did it say something like "old fart" in there for you?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. It should have. Yeah. So at this late hour, if somebody's interested, come to the front desk, bring your resume by. Ask for 2 seconds. Don't drop it off and run off. Ask for 2 seconds so we can lay eyes on you and shake your hand, and then we'll go from there. But we've already we're matriculating through this.
So you've had quite a few applications.
No, I would say no.
Okay.
And it's so hard. Try to put yourself in my shoes. You have words on a page. And it could be the best person in the world, and you're just trying to size them up. And people can't get experience until they have a chance to get experience, and you don't know. I remember one time years ago, my office manager is the front line of defense on this stuff, and this was 12 years ago or so. And at any rate, we couldn't find anybody. I said, let me go look at all these applications that came in, and there was this one, Michelle Creasy. I'll say her name on the air here, and I said, oh my God, Michelle! Well, her whole family had been coming to the practice since, and she was 6 when she came in, and now she's 18 or 19, and I said, we got to have her, because I knew her as a patient, knew her sister, knew her mom, knew her dad, and she was a good person. And so she came in fantastic. She was going into nursing. We knew that eventually we'd lose her to nursing. She's in telemetry now. She's a mom, and she comes by, and it's interesting when she comes by, and we, hugs and kisses. How you doing? How's the family? And she says one of the greatest things that she learned from me is to never trust anybody. And so in nursing, it just a gun is always loaded. Make sure that you do your work. And she's caught so many errors in the delivery of care that she has to alert the doctor to that, hey, blah blah blah. And I'm cynical, and it's a good thing, because you want to make sure that you sniff your food before you eat it.
I'm cynical. I mean, and it's funny because you talk about vagueness. At the shopping center, I have security, and you get some officers in there that don't stay long because they want to know black and white what I'm looking for. Who do I approach, whatever? And I said, look, here's the bottom line. The bottom line is, if your mother, your grandmother, your sister, your wife would feel uncomfortable walking past that group or that person, move them on. I don't want them. Simple as that. Well, what does that mean? I said that means I don't care if they're 18 or 70. I don't care if they're black, white, Indian.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. If your mother, grandmother, sister, daughter, wife would feel uncomfortable, I don't want them here. I don't want people feeling uncomfortable on my shopping center.
I agree with you, and that whole idea of profiling is bad is such a lie, because a doctor would be sued out of business if they didn't profile you. It's called a case history. Hey, who are you? What's wrong with your family's genetics? It's you profile people. Everyone in my family has cancer of the left eyelid, and they all have these risk factors and those risk factors. It's profiling.
All right, we got to go.
Yeah.
Dr. Wilcox is hiring. Drop an application by, but don't walk in, lay it on the counter, and leave. Drop in and say,
and that's start.